When he regained consciousness, he discovered his past self had arrived to disarm the bomb. It was with his help that his former self returned to the Time Bureau. Nick found a timing chip left by the bomb and took it back to the past. Instead of returning to 1963 to meet Jack, he went directly to the hospital in 1964. Because of his unauthorized time travel, his superiors warned him against it, explaining it would not only affect another timeline, but also cause mental and physical harm to the traveler. Nick handed over the chip evidence to his superiors, who urged him to complete his mission quickly. Surprisingly, the mysterious man who stole Laura's baby was Nick himself. He took the newborn Laura to an orphanage in 1945 because the Time Bureau needed an agent with no family and a perfect life loop. Back in 1963, Jack fell in love with his past self, Laura, who became pregnant. Jack thought he could stay and change Laura's fate, but Nick soon traveled from 1964 to 1963 to take Jack away. Jack was convinced he wouldn't make the same mistake of leaving Laura, but Nick said something that ultimately persuaded Jack to return with him to the Time Bureau in 1985. Nick finally completed his recruitment mission and could retire, with Jack taking his place. Retired agents were sent to 1975, and their time machines were supposed to deactivate after this final jump to prevent further travel. However, Nick discovered his machine still worked, making him suspect he had a hidden mission. He remembered a letter from his superiors about the timing chip he'd brought back. The clue indicated the bomber would be at a dry cleaner in the early morning of a certain day in 1975. Nick used his time machine to travel there and confront the bomber, only to discover it was his older self. Nick was shocked. When he demanded answers, his older self claimed he was saving more people because, according to future information, terrorist attacks would occur at all the places he bombed. He was preventing criminals from committing crimes, clearly an excuse he made for himself. The older Nick explained they were all just pawns manipulated by their superiors.
If you shoot me, you'll become me. You get it? That's how it happens. If you want to break the chain, you have to not kill me.
But Nick couldn't believe he would become the bomber. He eliminated his older self and returned home, staring at the time machine. He recalled what he had told Jack.
And now maybe you're ready to understand who I am. You see, I love her too.
It turned out Nick was the future Jack, and Laura, Jack, and Nick were all the same person. Young Laura grew up to meet Jack, then had a child with another version of herself. Jack joined the Time Bureau and, after his disfigurement, became Nick. Simply put, he fell in love with himself, gave birth to himself, and then killed himself. Why did the final Nick turn into the bomber? Perhaps because he loved himself too much. Only by becoming the bomber could he ensure his past self would continue to exist in an infinite loop. Otherwise, he would lose his meaning of existence.
Can we change our futures? I don't know. The only thing I know for sure is that you are the best thing that's ever happened to me. I miss you dreadfully.